Guys, we just got a new car for the channel. This thing is super cool. It's a V8 wagon. It's got so much trunk space. You could haul around any car parts, wheels, engines, anything you want back here. And it is just the coolest of the cool. Check out this video. Well, I did it again. I just bought this V8 Mopar wagon for 1,700 bucks. Now I bought this car from an estate sale, so I don't know much about it, but just looking at it, you could tell this is very different than any other Dodge Magnum out there. Now this one has the 5.7 liter Hemi V8, which is awesome for roasting tires, awesome for donuts, burnouts, all the fun stuff. But this one has been converted into somewhat of like a hearse. You can see from right here, it used to have the big chrome hearse thingy. This is all custom. This whole vinyl top is completely custom. And while some people look at it and might think it's an eyesore, I think it's super cool. I think it reminds me of like a 70s muscle car, which this kind of is like a big four-door muscle car. Now, of course, for 1,700 bucks, this car doesn't run and drive. It does start up, but it dies instantly, which means it's something simple. And it means that we can figure it out. Now we have a lot of builds going on in this channel, and I was in dire need of a wagon. And I didn't know if I was gonna get like a Beamer wagon or a Mercedes wagon. There isn't too many great modern American wagons until I found this. And I thought, I have to buy it. I absolutely have to buy this awesome hot rod wagon. And I need a wagon to store a lot of parts because we got crazy builds. We just finished an amazing LS swapped Corvette build, the Cam's Camaro build. We're working on the LS swap in the Chevelle. We got the LS swap Jag ripping more and more burnouts every single day, and plenty more coming very soon. So we needed something that could just haul around all those parts, from LS engines to used wheels and tires off Facebook Marketplace. So this kind of fits all of our needs. But right now, it's just a giant paperweight. So the goal today is, can we, within a 24-hour time frame, turn this from a giant paperweight into a Facebook Marketplace hauling around junk burnout machine?
Now, personally, I am a massive fan of this car. It's super cool, but it's got its fair share of issues. One being these super fogged up headlights. They look like crap. And I was looking at this grille, I don't think it's stock. I think this was custom made to fit that hearse look. And for a 21-year-old car, you could expect definitely has a ton of paint blemishes. We're gonna have to buff this out. This original chrome trim, someone spray painted it or something, and you could tell it's already fading and peeling through. You can see the chrome underneath. That's gonna be an easy fix when we get around to it. Also, this hearse top, I don't know how I feel about it personally, but it is missing the big chrome piece right here. So this kind of looks like crap, but the vinyl is in actually pretty good condition if you're into that kind of thing. And as far as cosmetics go, probably the worst part of the car is this rear bumper. I don't know what happened. It is thrashed. And as far as the interior goes, well, it's got these hideous seat covers, but it makes the gray seats black, so I'm a fan of that. And somebody installed this flat screen TV into the car. It looks so cheesy. It looks terrible. It's mounted terribly. We're gonna have to do something about that.
So the car was delivered a few hours ago. Also, forgot to tell you, there's no plates. And this is one of those no title kind of deals. And I know you're thinking it's a stolen car. I already ran a stolen report. So far, it's not stolen. I hope it's, you know, it was an estate sale, old people, you know, that's just how it goes. So when you buy a car like this, with not much to know about it, I like to try to figure out who was the previous owner, what kind of junk did they haul around? Are they a clean, tidy person? You see like rags like this? Not really. So that lets me know, did they do their maintenance on the car? I like to look through everything. This thing's broken, so that's, I gotta fix. Some nuts and bolts. We got like a little toy skateboard tech deck right here. We got this paper, which is just expired insurance. Let's see what we got here. Owner's manual, beat to hell with all the paperwork. That's good. Ton of wires. More expired registration. So, nothing too much. These are seat covers, so you can see what it looks like underneath. Maybe it's hiding some rips. Yeah, there you go. The tears. Also, it smells like a wet dog in here. Like terrible. So, carpet needs to be cleaned. You could tell, I can see dog hair. So the owner had a dog, which is explaining why the seats were probably cracked. The driver's seat might be messed up too. Probably a big dog with big paws that scraped up everything. Yeah, I'm just glad there's no bodies in here. It is a hearse. Maybe we'll find a coffin. So we're coming back here. Let's see what we find. Nothing here. How do these seats look? The gray's terrible. Yeah. Carpet. The carpet's all messed up right here. The hell is this?
What is that?
I don't know. It's like one of those, it's like a taser, but it's like for the cattle taser. 120,000 volts. Yeah, this is crazy. Now we're finding some interesting stuff in here. So now I'm thinking, was the guy like a security guard? These wheels are super nice too. They're kind of ugly, but like for stock wheels, they're really nice. This rear bumper needs to be touched up. So we got some fluid right here. ATF, great. So this thing probably leaks transmission fluid, which if you guys don't know, the Dodge models, especially around these years, had horrible transmissions. They blow up at like 60,000 miles. So that's real great. We got all kinds of trash. Dolly trash. Tons of hair, so you could tell that this was animal owned. This thing works. And, you know, it's not terrible for an old car. We have like a spare tire. Yeah. Oh, batteries back here. We have what looks to be a whip. This is crazy. This is insane. So either this guy was a cowboy or he's pretty kinky. And considering we got the very goth hearse look to it, I'm gonna say probably more on the kinky side. So we got a spare tire. So for the most part, this is a complete car, which is good news for us. What the hell, dude? This is crazy. Oh, we got chips, dips, tasers, and whips. Time to party. Okay, let's get it in the shop, get it up on the lift, and figure out how we can make this thing run. Okay guys, we got it up on the lift. Now it's time to look at what did I buy? Is there anything super concerning? First thing I noticed, massive mufflers. We got mufflers here, there, up there. We need to get rid of those mufflers because we want to hear that sound. But right now we got to focus on making this car run. Something very concerning right here. They did a tire patch and they didn't like cut it off. So you would normally want to cut this off because you don't want this to grab onto something and pull out. So we got to fix that. Muffler underneath the car looks okay, like not too bad. So since this car is a low mile car, you can see that overall it hasn't had too much road wear. Exhaust looks nice. Even this, which is, you know, kind of wet. Yeah, crazy. So this is falling down. Also, the car is lowered. You can see it's got some Eibach springs on it and it sits very, very low. It was actually kind of hard to get the lift arms on the car, which is totally cool. Who doesn't like a lowered car? But the problem is that this thing is hitting. So the tabs that hold this up have broken off. So we're gonna have to fix that. You can see right here, all that wear from it hitting stuff, scraping really bad over here. So at some point in the future, and this is too much for touch up. So we're gonna have to sand this down and repaint it, fix it up at some point. Brakes are warped, so that's good. It's not the worst. There's a lot of pad life, but those rotors definitely feel warped. But that's all easy stuff. Just usual wear and tear. Okay, before we put it down and get to work on it, I wanna get this piece up. So we're gonna deal with this first. Nothing like some good old zip ties. Okay, here's where we're at so far. So I go to try to start the car. The key's a little finicky. Also, when you try to pull the key out, it gets locked. So you gotta mess with the shifter in order to pull the key out. So little things like that, these are Dodge problems. But if you go in, key in, go to crank it. So it starts, but it dies. So This is good news. This means that the engine runs and it actually sounds pretty good when it starts up, but it dies instantly. This is very common on a lot of problems. I mean, it could be vacuum leaks, it could be something wrong with the ignition. There's a lot of things. It could be the crank sensor. There's a lot of different things that could cause this. Luckily, we're getting some kind of check engine light, which means that we could diagnose this and kind of hopefully guide us to the next step. Okay, so put the key in, put it to the on position, and then we could scan it with a little scan tool. You can pick these up for like dirt cheap at any auto store. Okay, we're getting a code right now, and it's a P0113 intake air temperature sensor 1 circuit high. So that would be the IAT. So what's weird about that is that IAT temp sensors, they do go bad. Sometimes they get dirty, so we might be able to just clean it, but that shouldn't be causing the problem. So what's really weird is that IAT sensors, they can cause all kinds of driving problems, but usually it's more of when you're driving. It should still be able to idle perfectly fine. So it's weird, but we gotta inspect it. So this thing, clips must be broken, that's great. We got a big old Hemi engine right here. These things are really interesting. One of the crazy things about these is they have 2 spark plugs per cylinder. So if you look at the coils, you can see you got the coil wire goes just like an LS to the coil, which there's a spark plug on the bottom of this coil. Then it jumps to this wire, which goes over to another point, which they piggyback off of each other. But you see there's 2. So it's pretty interesting. This looks messed up. What the hell is, oh my God, is this the dipstick? We should probably check the oil. Yeah, it's got oil and it doesn't look too bad, but that is crazy. So the dipstick must have broken off and they use like a drywall screw.
That's super jank.
So, okay, back to the IAT. So you got the intake, goes right here. This sensor should be the IAT right here. It doesn't look melted or anything. This is really loose right here.
No way.
That's not, I mean, it's not the end of the world. That shouldn't be causing this problem, but let's tighten that up. That is not supposed to be like that. There you go.
How's it look?
It's very dirty. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it is super, super dirty. So it may need to be replaced, but we're gonna try just cleaning it real quick. So we're gonna use a mass airflow sensor cleaner because this stuff's pretty delicate for electronics and should be fine for an IAT. Look at that, it already cleaned it up so much. See, now it's all blue. It was black before. I don't wanna do too much, but. And also, you never want to touch this. So don't use a towel and wipe it or touch it with your hand. You just gotta let it dry. Back in. That is a one tight fit. Fun. Okay, it's back in place. Maybe it had something to do with this thing being loose. I'll tighten this thing back up all the way. So I'm starting to wonder if this was loose, it doesn't just come loose by itself. I wonder if someone was messing with it, trying to figure it out before us. Looking for any kind of like crack in the manifold. Okay, let's try it now. Ooh. I heard some kind of whistle noise.
Dang.
It has to be a vacuum leak. So I cleared the code. We're still not getting a check engine light. We're definitely getting some kind of sound. Okay, here's the plan. I'm gonna go start the car and it's gonna die. I'm gonna just keep starting it. You guys and Lenny are gonna work on trying to figure out where the vacuum leak's coming from. Unfortunately, you know, a smoke machine would pretty much tell you, but our smoke machine is broken right now. So we're gonna have to do it the old fashioned way and just use the power of our hearing. But yeah, we're gonna have to try to figure out where it is.
All right, go ahead and let her rep. I'll see if I can find the sound.
Where's it coming from?
So honestly, I can't really tell where it's coming from exactly. It sounds like it's coming from the middle, but there are some vacuum lines, but they all look fine. They could be cracked, like hairline cracks, but I'm not really sure. It kind of reminds me of like a mass airflow. Like, have you ever had like a mass airflow like be dirty?
Yeah.
And it like doesn't work. The only thing though,
there is no mass airflow.
I don't see one. I was just thinking that. So the Jag doesn't have a mass airflow, but it has a map sensor.
Yeah.
So there's probably
that's how like I think the Beamers are too.
Yeah, so there has to be a map sensor somewhere. So we try to find that.
Must be in the rear.
That might be, yeah, it could also be down here sometimes. Sometimes they put them in the front of the manifolds. This is a sensor right here. It could be this.
It goes right into the manifold. That's probably it.
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta figure out how to undo this little doohickey right here, pull it out, and then let's look at it.
The only thing I can think of is if the map sensor is bad, I would think we would get a check engine light for it.
You would, and also the hissing sound. It's a vacuum. Like, I know what a vacuum leak sounds like.
Yeah.
Oh, there's like no room in here. Okay. Okay, there we go. Look at that. It's got a broken
O-ring's broken.
Yeah,
which means that part of it's in the engine now.
Yeah, I know. That's not good. It's also like super oily. But I think that's kind of normal. But yeah, look at that. There you go. I mean, I don't know what else could be causing the hissing noise.
Yeah, it could be like a minor vacuum leak from that. I wouldn't think that would cause the problem though.
I wouldn't either, but
actually no, that having that O-ring will definitely cause a problem, but
I think it would create a vacuum leak. I don't know about a big enough one. Yeah, let's replace it.
We gotta find one that fits though. It's gotta be like the exact size.
Okay, here we got the new O-ring. Just gotta push it on carefully without ripping it. Okay, we got a new O-ring, a non-ripped O-ring, and let's just put it back in the car. See if it makes a difference. You guys gotta remember, you don't always have to just go buy a new sensor. When your O-ring is bad, they sell like generic O-ring kits at like any auto parts store. It's way cheaper than having to buy a whole new sensor. Dude, some of these sensors are like $100.
Yeah.
Okay, gotta pop it back in place. Put the wire back on. There we go. Let's start it up. All right, new O-rings in. Start it up.
Cleaned IAT sensor, new non-ripped O-ring around the map sensor. Hopefully we get some progress. We got a belt squeal, but we got a check engine light again.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of like dropping an idle. Okay, so now we have the P0108 code. This is manifold absolute pressure map sensor, pressure circuit high. So now that we're actually getting a check engine light for that, that's kind of weird. I hope the sensor isn't bad, but what we could do is just clear the code and try again.
Maybe it's just because we unplugged it.
Yeah, it might be because it got unplugged and then plugged back in. So now what I'm gonna do is erase the code. It's erasing. Turn the key off. Okay, let's see. We do it now.
Dude, it's kind of smoothing out.
It kind of is. We got the check engine light again though.
Should we put the broken O-ring back in it?
Maybe we should clean the sensor. Quick side note, I didn't even realize this. I just noticed it when going back and forth, but it says, instead of like objects in mirror are closer than they appear, it says your demons are closer than they appear, and you got little Grim Reapers. So once again, you know, this Hearst Gothic car with a whip and what else, with a taser in it. I mean, I'd love to know the full story of this car and, you know, what happened before. So maybe this thing got dirty too. Clean it out. So this is my theory. So far, I think this was dirty. I think the IAT was dirty, and then the hose clamp was loose. So what I'm guessing right now is maybe it had an aftermarket intake on it, and you know, maybe this car was like a, you know, car, a takeover car, and they drove it around with the, you know, mods, and maybe they didn't put the air intake on correctly, or the filter came off, dirt got into the manifold, dirtied up the sensors, and then when they decided to sell the car or whatever happened, someone put the original intake back on, and clearly they didn't do a good job. because that thing was loose. That thing shouldn't be loose. It doesn't just come loose itself. Someone had to have not installed it correctly. So that's my theory so far. And whenever there's a car that's stock that you think was previously modified, it means it could have been taken care of. I mean, all the coils look pretty good and everything, and they're all marked and numbered, so I know they've been replaced. But it means the car's probably been beat on. Not like we're not gonna beat on it too, but it's a good idea to, you know, change out the fluids, make sure everything's fresh. Give it just a little bit of extra care. Putting the sensor back in. Sensors are tight. Let's see what happens now. We got no check engine light. It's holding a pretty steady idle.
What's it idling at?
Like around like 800, but you know, it's gotta warm up. We're in park, but it's idling good.
Got a nasty belt squeal.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Hold on, do it again.
That sounds good. Like that sounds like how this car should sound.
Dude.
Other than squeal, I think we did it.
It's
I
really,
think it's
really steady.
I think
now.
it's pretty good. I mean,
do we dare drive it now?
yeah, I think now it's time to go drive it and see if it'll die at some point. But
my Dodges have to be this finicky.
yeah, this car is so finicky with the key getting stuck and the lights flickering and, you know, stuff like this. But I think we may have done it. So we checked oil. I want to check the transmission fluid, but we got to start the car for that. Coolant is in an acceptable range right now, so that's good. This power steering thing's a little bit loose, so that's a little problematic. Oh, it goes right here. That's why. Okay.
It's completely just falling off.
It was just out of its thing.
Should be a quarter turn, yeah. Yeah, you got fluid.
Where's that squeal coming from?
Probably one of these pulleys. Or the belt might need to be replaced.
It could be the belt, but I think it might be the idler.
We'll have to see if it goes away when it gets warm.
Yeah.
All right, check the dipstick. Did you just break it?
No, it's one of these stupid things. I forgot.
Oh, hold on.
My CL600's like that. Look. Yeah, for dealer use only. My Mercedes CL600, the V12, twin turbo V12, super crazy car. That car had the same thing. It's because around, I think 2005, Dodge was owned by Chrysler, Chrysler was owned by Mercedes. There was some kind of deal going on with Chrysler and Mercedes at that time. And they did this gimmick where they would give you this little fake dipstick that doesn't do anything. That way you can't check your own fluid. You have to take it to the dealership.
That's crazy. Or,
as I call the stealership. I hate that. It's just like how Beamers nowadays, there's no dipstick. You have to check from the computer. They don't want you working on cars because you save money that way, and they want to take all your money.
So we're definitely gonna have to buy one then.
I guess we're not gonna be checking it today. So I'll drive it around and see if it shifts, and you can pretty much tell.
Yeah, if it moves, it moves.
Yeah.
It's got fluid.
I was just a little concerned because there was a bottle of fluid in the trunk, but.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go drive this.
Let's drive it.
Leading you down into my core, where I become so numb without a soul. My spirit sleeping somewhere cold until you find it there and lead it back.
Now that's how you do a burnout. Quick reminder, guys, you can pick up all kinds of shirts, hats, all kinds of cool merchandise over at backseatboys.com.
What? You just don't get me, Mom. It's not a phase. I'm wearing Backspeed Boys for life. You just don't understand. What? We're having crockpot for dinner too? That's 2 nights in a row. Yes, I need to be picked up.
So far, the car is driving and moving fine. Brakes work. It could probably use an alignment, so we could, touch up on that. But other than that, I mean, yeah, this is a running driving car. It's low miles, so I assumed everything was there, other than all the, quirks. It is lowered on the iBox springs, so it's a much harsher ride, but it's lowered, so that looks cool.
I think it feels great.
No, it's more like sporty. It's not like the comfortable. I doubt it was very comfortable to begin with.
I mean, as a Dodge product, typically they make their cars drive like boats or yachts.
Yeah.
And with these lowering springs, it feels nice and kind of firm. It feels exactly how I feel like I'd want it. I must say, while I think it has a really cool drivetrain for the money, this interior is probably one of the worst interiors like I've ever sat in, ever.
Yeah, it's a pretty terrible interior. It has not aged well, especially because like the newer Dodge like Hellcat interiors are like so nice. This is terrible. Also, the car overall just feels like you're driving a giant brick, but that's okay. It's got a V8. It's a wagon. It's black. It's low to the ground. I mean, it's got. Oh my God, this guy's gonna hit us.
We almost just got completely killed in the Deathmobile.
by a FedEx truck, just not stopping. I know you guys watch these videos and you're like, where are they finding all these deals? We live on Facebook Marketplace. All of our neighbors know that we're always looking to buy cars. Everyone we know knows that we're always looking to buy cars. It's a full-time job in itself. And what you don't see is all the cars that we go look at that are just way too mangled up. I mean, we look at cars that they're falling apart, and I, go try to turn the engine over, but it's seized. And it's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna buy that one. So obviously you have to understand, if you want a good deal, you have to put some time and effort. Go on Facebook Marketplace and scour, and never be afraid to lowball people. I know some people say, oh, you're an asshole because you lowball everyone. That's how it works. When I sell cars, people lowball me. I don't, take it personally. It is what it is. That's how it goes. Like this car, it seems like we're pretty lucky with, and nothing's blown up. But the Corvette that Lenny bought, we had to replace the motor. So
you don't get lucky on every single one.
But moral of the story, what I want you to take away is that good deals like this exist out there, and no one knows how to work on cars anymore. That's just the reality. And then you have people that say they know how to work on cars, which I'm not a master mechanic. I'm a retard. I'm a complete idiot. I make mistakes all the time. But there's people that are much, much worse, and they work on a car and they run into a roadblock and then they give up. And that's where you step in. And eventually you'll figure it out. You have, all the internet of billions of forums and people who've gone through the same problems. So cars like this, sometimes it's just a sensor, or sometimes it's, maintenance that needed to be needed.
It really is the sad truth, but when someone needs the money and needs the space, you could swoop up and get a crazy deal. And the reality is, if you don't, someone else will. So,
yeah,
it's just part of the game.
Now that we got this car, I think it's time to take it to the next level. I want to go full-fledged on this build. I want to make this the ultimate, like, Backspeed wagon, Hearst. Should we continue with the Hearst look? I do like it, don't get me wrong. A Hearst that can do burnouts, a Hearst that, has a V8 and is an extremely cool muscle car, awesome. But would this thing be cooler without the Hearst? I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I'm kind of in the middle. We could rip the vinyl top off and find something terrible underneath.
That could happen.
We could find a bunch of holes, for sure, we will, because there are holes from all the trim.
I don't know if it's worth it.
Is it worth it? Maybe we leave the vinyl top on. I like the Hearst thing. I think we should build into that. I think the direction that we go with the mods need to all go back to the Hearst.
If we did continue with the Hearst, for sure. So let us know down in the comments. Do you guys want to see this thing continue as a Hearst, a badass Hearst that can do burnouts? Or should we just go badass wagon and get rid of the Hearst thing? Let us know down in the comments, guys.
Well, there you have it. A Dodge Magnum RT with a good old Hemi engine back up on the road. I gotta admit, this one was kind of a steal. I know it has some issues, got plenty of paint, blemishes, dents, dings. I'm sure on camera this thing looks perfect, but it's far from that. But we will make it perfect. And this car isn't going anywhere anytime soon. There's gonna be a lot of cool episodes on it because we gotta fully build it out now. I want more horsepower, maybe a supercharger. We gotta get some awesome wheels. Let me know in the comments down below. Should we go Hellcat wheels? Should we go some 22-inch crazy, just insane wheels on this car? But this is gonna be the ultimate Facebook Marketplace junk hauler. So we want more power, we want style, and that's about it. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe, make sure you turn on bell notifications. Like I said before, 2026 is gonna be started off with a bang. Here we go. We got plenty of cars, new cars every single month. Make sure you subscribe, stay tuned. Also, if you wanna get some awesome Backseat Boys merch, go check out at backseatboys.com. We'll see you in the next video.